Hey, good evening and welcome to another edition of Sports Wrap. This evening, our edition will be a bit abbreviated because of some other radio commitment, which begins at 8 o'clock. So we only have 1 hour, but nevertheless, we'll try to make it as interesting and absorbing as usual and exciting as usual. My name, of course, is Ozzy Lewis. And with me in the studios is
Lockhart Sebastian. Also, you said 8, it's 7 o'clock. The town hall meeting start. The Labour Party town hall meeting start at 7.
We go
till 7.
Right.
But the workers' program will be off because the town hall meeting starts at 7.
Right.
The Labour Party town hall
Our
meeting.
program ends at 7.
At 7, right.
That's the main point.
No, but
yes.
you said that.
Oh, yes.
8,
Yes.
But it's 7 the town hall meeting start.
At 7, yes.
The Labour Party town hall meetings.
Right. So, right.
We have Lobby on there, by the way.
We have a Low Black, of course, in the Big Apple. That's where he is, ensconced in the Big Apple.
Sorry, New Jersey.
So how are you all doing? How are you doing, Ozzy? How are you and Sebastian? How are you?
Doing well.
How about you, Low Black? You okay?
Praise God.
Right,
Yes.
right.
I'm fine for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Very
met a few
important.
fans today
Mm-hmm.
who told me how much they listen to the program.
Everybody
everywhere I
listens.
go to, even today I was at the hospital for quite some time. Some guys came up to me.
Did you see Barry at all?
I called him. I spoke to him.
In the hospital, still there?
Yes, he's still in the Alford ward. I thought he was back
What doesn't happen
home,
again?
but I called him today. He was still at the hospital, and he is an amputee. He lost
it's
half
sad.
his foot.
Very sad.
So, Francois, I hope you're listening. He told me try to get ready to listen to us this evening. So I want to wish him all the best. But it has happened, and he has been amputated. So, but he seems to be in high spirits, Lockhart.
Well, that's the important
He
thing
seems
to be
in high
nice. Yeah.
spirits. I think he did go to Barbados hoping to have some.
He went to after that.
No, he did go trying before. But he came back.
They couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do it. It was much too expensive.
Well.
One or the other.
But again, to what extent, this is a man who was a member of parliament.
Yeah.
You would think that the authorities would try
Right,
to help him.
Yes.
But you know how it is in this
Yes.
place already.
But he actually went to Barbados
he
and
went
came
there?
back. Probably didn't stay there more than a
Wow.
few hours.
Man.
So I don't know if it's the price or whatever it was.
And
Or they
that-
told him they couldn't do anything for him.
And that's the problem in Dominica.
But whatever
Everything
it
you have
is,
to
the
go
long and
overseas.
short of it is that eventually he had to be amputated. So
Wow.
very
Tough.
Was it? Did he lose a toe? Was it his toe that was amputated?
probably half his leg. More than a toe. I thought just a toe.
That's not fun.
But he
at all.
seemed to have half his leg. So it's something.
From where? Don't know from which side. How high?
Well, let's not even go into that.
I don't know those details. All I know is,
really don't even want to get into that.
Yes. It's graver than we thought.
Yeah, man. This is not something you want to be talking about.
No, we
at
don't
all.
need to talk about it. But he appears to be in good spirits. As I guess he realizes that if it's a done deal, there's nothing you can do about it against you.
Yeah, no.
Nothing is done. The more you grieve over it, the worse for you.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes you wonder if better could not have been done.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had the
certainly.
right equipment, the right
Oh,
professionals
yes.
and that sort of thing,
yes.
if it would,
yes.
things could not have been better.
Yeah. It's my wife. I think she hadn't gone to Trinidad.
Well, who knows?
She would have been an amputee as
Who
well.
knows? Who knows?
You're
Yeah.
quite right.
Yeah,
Could have been done.
Yeah,
yes.
so you wonder if you and the problem in Dominica, a lot of people will perish. Some of
end
them
up in their
and a
lives
lot
as
of
amputees who should not
Never.
be amputees
because some of them people cannot afford to go overseas.
Right.
So people will struggle,
Yeah,
end up with all sorts of ailments
Ailments, yes,
die
yes.
and everything else. Yeah,
Yes, and we were left with the walking wounded.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Anyhow, we have
Gentlemen,
Low
Hold
Black
on,
out
Lobby,
there
go ahead, go
in
ahead.
the. Yes, you're saying something.
are you all still in festive mode? West Indies won 3-2.
Well, yes, my item is the West Indies have won a series, T20 series for quite some years, about 4 or 5 years.
No, well,
They didn't win
against
in South
India, they
Africa.
just won in
Yeah,
South Africa
they won
this year.
So
Earlier
they
this
won
year.
back-to-back series.
And Paul Wheel as captain had
and
one
with
back-to-back.
Paul Wheel to get all the plaudits for the captaincy, and he seems to have done a very good job.
Yeah.
Only thing, I don't think he should try bowling too much. I don't like his bowling,
Have our ranking gone up?
Pardon?
Well,
Have our
Their
ranking
number-
gone up?
Our ranking is just
Well, it wouldn't carry too
well
far
below
because we're way
Australia.
below. Yeah.
Australia number 6, in
In
ODIs.
yeah.
Australia is number 1 in cricket, in the
Mm.
Test cricket, of course. And India is number 1 in T20. West Indies now number 6. Very high for West Indies, number 6. And Australia number 6, West Indies number 7. Yeah, in the ODIs. England about number 3 or something like that. So congratulations to West Indies. They beat an Indian team. To me, it's not the biggest, strongest of Indian teams. We can look at that in more detail, but still it's a
True.
victory. And it should do the West Indies morale a whole lot of good. Of course, the focus is on the World Cup just a few weeks away, the 50 overs World Cup, the real World Cup. And Australia has named the team already. England is a gang, 15 names.
Well, they named 15 yesterday, and that could very well be team.
And Stokes is on that team.
Stokes has made a
out of
U-turn.
retirement, yes, because he said only Test cricket, but now Stokes is, because he was quite a success in the last World Cup in England.
Well, people get a batsman that will hardly bowl.
Yeah. Well, to me, he's primarily a batsman, but he's quite a useful bowler and a marvelous fieldsman, and seems to be a great tactician. So they'll do very well.
What about West Indies, our team?
But we have no team. We're not in the World Cup, no black.
We're not in the team.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
That is something to, even when you think of it, it sounds shocking, but it's true.
Of course it is.
West Indies are not in the World Cup, which they won the first 2 versions and were finalists in the 3rd version and a strong competitor in many other editions. This time, they can't even make the final 10. 10, they can't make. So it's something
what was humiliating? What was humiliating that we had to qualify and teams that never existed, in cricket.
Associate teams.
Teams
that you call them associate teams like Papua New Guinea, Oman, and these teams. And Nepal. You can hardly pronounce the bloody names. UAE and all of them beating West Indies, and the famous beating they got in the end from these people from the
Scotland,
the Dutch,
Holland, the Netherlands. Yeah.
Netherlands gave them a sound beating, scoring 3.
Scotland beat us as well.
Scotland beat West Indies too. It was, as I said, they were like a lava bowling. That's the term they use.
Lava bowl.
Yes. But we'll talk about that in more detail. Just to say that those who follow tennis, that Yannick Sinner, a guy who looks very much like our local DJ Slim here, and I showed that to DJ Shan. He agreed with me that Yannick Sinner looks like the picture. You see Yannick Sinner.
You're right.
These guys look very much alike. If Slim throws off his hair, like it's just a picture.
True.
Same
I agree
height.
with you.
You agree with me?
Yes.
Time I saw Yannick Sinner, the Italian, 2 years ago, I said this guy is a picture, the living image of DJ Slim here. And DJ Shan has endorsed that. But Slim said he wished he had half the money that Yannick Sinner has. Yannick Sinner is worth about over 20 million already. By the way, he won the Masters for the first time in the Toronto Masters. It's called the Rogers Cup. And Yannick Sinner beat Dimino, who's an Australian player. And Yannick Sinner won. But the following week in Cincinnati, where they're playing now, the Masters, just before the 4th Grand Slam starts, a couple of weeks from now, the Grand Slam gets underway. The US Open, they call it, the final Grand Slam of the year. Slim,
don't forget.
Yannick Sinner, he lost a match.
Don't forget in that same tournament that DePaul beat Alcaraz.
Oh yes, I have to mention. Could you remind me of that? A fellow called Tommy Paul, a guy about
American
27, 28. He beat the great Alcaraz, #1 ranked player in the world. Beat him quite well too. A week before last.
They are playing right now, They are playing right now. Rain delayed the game.
Okay,
yes, the same players. They're playing right now, but there's a delay because The first two sets, 1-1. They're into a tight. They're into the fourth set now.
Tommy Paul
Right.
and
Alcaraz
Carlos
Winning
Alcaraz.
4-3.
Well, that was a great
Yes,
game.
leading 4-3 in the first set.
Before last. Yes, won by Tommy Paul. Surprise defeat of Alcaraz. Novak Djokovic played a match 2 nights, or was it last night? Last night, I think it was. But the match was a walkover because the guy got sick. The opponent guy called Ficona, a Spaniard.
He had some back spasm.
He had some back spasm. He
Yes.
had to give up. Yes. So Novak didn't get a good workout last
Djokovic
night.
has a tough. Our friend, Monfils is playing very well, you know, these days.
Oh yes. Monfils is the one is playing very well, you know. Oh yes, he has to play Novak today in the round 3 in Cincinnati. They call it the Western and Southern Masters.
Djokovic.
So, Djokovic, yes. Djokovic is
Round
playing
3.
against Monfils. Monfils is being regenerated, I would say. This man is playing great tennis.
Oh, man.
Monfils. He had a great game. But last night, there was a shocking
I don't know
game.
what the hell is happening.
Wawrinka beat Tiafoe in Cincinnati. Did you see that match?
What
Rudy?
happening to that tonight? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Lost it.
Man.
Did you see it, Lockhart?
No, as I told you, well, last time I was watching cricket.
Wawrinka is 38.
I was watching cricket last night.
Oh, yeah, but you know Wawrinka.
Yeah, you know.
It's
Yeah,
good
it's Stan Wawrinka,
problem.
yeah.
It's
He
worse.
won about 3 Grand Slams. Right?
Stanley man, 3 Grand Slams. He's 38 now. He beat Francis Tiafoe, the high-ranked number 10 in the world, Australian. Beat him badly in 2 straight sets. And Novak, I told you, played a match which was aborted because the opponent, a guy from Spain called Fokina, pulled up some back problems. So in a week or 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the 4th Grand Slam, and that should be interesting in the US Open Locker.
I'm hearing you all distorted. There are a lot of
We have
discussion
cricket,
in
we
the
have-
program now.
Well, the CPL began last night. Look, you saw what's the match last night?
Yeah.
Yes, very interesting match last night.
Yes, and
The
Lucia
Lucia team lost
Jamaica. And tonight you have Barbados playing.
tonight.
Barbados playing.
Right, so the CPL is on, and what do we have again?
Somebody on the line.
Somebody want to join us here?
Good night.
Hello,
Good
evening.
night, everybody.
Evening, yes.
Okay, I know the program short tonight.
Very short.
Wawrinka, also.
Yes.
Wawrinka, if you notice Wawrinka playing well now, you
Very well at
know,
38.
Bang now, you know.
Mm-hmm. He outplayed Francis Tiafoe. He's a ranked number 10 in the world.
Last night.
Yes.
Another thing, what
The
you
guy
talk
mistakes playing for the crowd too much.
about, she lost, you know, today.
Sloane is not the power she was before.
Hmm?
No, she's not that prominent as before. She's lost her sting.
It's going up, down,
Yeah.
up,
Remember she won the
resigned.
was it the French? She won the French some years ago, eh?
yes.
And she was always a top contender. But right now she has gone down. She's a bit yeah.
Coco even playing a little better than her to me.
Who's that?
Coco.
Oh yes, Coco is playing better than Sloane Stephens. Sloane has gone down quite a lot. I think probably she has some. Is she getting married or something? And I'm not too sure. She may have some other problems, Elizabeth. You know.
Anyway.
So you see your boy Stan the man. I thought he was one of your favorites. Yes, that's Elizabeth White, our famous tennis fan. Right, Lobi, are you with us now? Can you hear us? We can see you, but we're
Yes.
not sure you can hear
I'm
us.
hearing you all. I don't know what happened. I find tonight the reception is not the best as last week.
Okay, well,
Can you hear me?
yes, I think the engineer said it's something to do with the internet. I don't know. So,
Well, it's possible.
or is it your internet or the internet? His own.
But I
Lobi's
do not know.
internet. So we have to check your system then.
Can you hear
Your
me right now?
Very clearly. Very clearly.
Okay, that's good.
I can also
So far, so
see
good.
you
But it goes
and
goes
come.
on and off right now.
Yeah.
Let's proceed.
Lobi's network. I'm advised that it is your network is the problem, Lobi. So you may have to check on that. Anyhow, guys, apart from cricket, you want to look at a little salvo before Locker Sebastian. I just want to.
Also, by the way, did you go to the thing there at the lawyer thing?
No, I would have gone there.
Because you know what I felt when I heard that, I'm saying to myself, a retired man like you're not in the flush of youth. Why would, why would they want to burden you, tell you come in the night? Why would you want to have something that in the night at 7 when you should be at your home relaxing? And I find to me, it's like deliberate. This town hall meeting, and people talk about consultation. As far as I'm concerned, these are Labour Party town hall meetings where they bring their people there. They have the person that conducts anything. What's her name? I don't even know.
Francine Barron.
Right, and
chairperson, yes.
Yeah, and then you have all these Labour. It's a show, Ozzy. And I mean, and then you tell me you're going to have a consultation in Portsmouth.
Right, go to Sally
You're going to have one in Sally Beer.
to the
So
Grand
are
Bay.
people foolish in Dominica?
I mean, come on, man.
So people don't know what is going on.
The whole thing is a show.
But look at the whole West Coast.
It's cosmetic.
Nothing in the West
You know?
Coast
Yeah.
because nothing in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't want to hear the views of these people because they know. I mean,
But then even listening to the so-called quote-unquote in commas consultation, when a Labour Party or pro-Labour Party speaks, or somebody who's not in favor speaks on the other side, they are rebutted and rebuffed. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's a discussion. It's not a political thing to cover arguments.
But that's what I'm telling you, Ozzy. These are town hall
They're
meetings.
both rebutted and rebuffed.
I mean, this is a show, and it's like a puppy show. And Ozzy,
It's a show.
and I'm saying,
It's a what do you call it?
people, unless people in Dominica decide, there's no way this guy is going. It's not a show to say they did something. That
anything you bring up, these guys are fighting back.
Look at how this lawyer,
pushing back.
The lawyer was talking Noel's night.
Yes.
And this lady tried. She comes back
Yes.
everything.
That little
Baron
developed into almost a quarrel almost.
Ozzy, this thing is a joke, and
a straightforward point like that. You couldn't see that from the outset what Noel is not just trying to say, and you went all along the mulberry bush with that nonsense. And then the young lady, Noel's night, I have to applaud her. She's a very bright. I know. I worked with her.
Well, I've been like
I was married straight for years, and she played my course. She's a brilliant girl. Oh,
and she was making Ozzy, to be honest, I don't listen. I never listen to that. I only hear when we have a caller. Let's take her. Good night. Hello. Hello, caller. Okay, he's probably listening to the radio. Yeah.
This whole thing is what they call a charade.
A show,
a farce,
a town hall meeting.
Travesty, a mockery.
Well, what happened? The Labour Party haven't had meetings since the election.
Yeah.
So they have gotten an opportunity to have meetings all about the place, to talk their nonsense, and all sorts of foolishness you hear.
Anything somebody brings up, they only push back. So you can know where they're coming from. It's a waste of time and money.
And then, but they're making it too obvious. You say you're going to have a meeting in Grand Bay, in Salibia. Okay, what about people in La Plaine and Monjon? What about people in Salisbury and St. Joseph and Maho? What about people in Wesley and Marigot? This thing is a nonsense. We have another call.
It's a total charade. A charade. Yes, good night. Evening.
Hello?
Yes, good night, gentlemen.
Evening.
The question that arises is where is the internal commission in all of that? Where are they? Where is the chairman? Where are the members in all of that? Where are they? That is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Thank you.
I see a picture of Duncan Stowe sitting as this.
He's in that too, is there?
Yeah, I saw a picture
of him.
Yes, sitting down like a spectator in the place. He's the chairman of the Electoral Commission. The man is sitting down like an ordinary camp follower, you know.
But also, I'm happy you mentioned that.
I saw it in my own eyes.
To me,
and the fellow, when a fellow called Jean-Jacques, he's a PhD.
No, who is that guy, by the way?
This guy almost made me puke. Jean-Jacques is the number one stupid ass in the excuse my language.
No, but people love
the man was talking about things and even facts, you know.
Who is that guy that could talk
rubbish? He even said the email Tony Asafan sent years ago, and the email didn't mean what he said, that people had a different narrative, a false narrative, and the opposition has stood that up. The man is calling for more draconian measures. He's calling for more dictatorship. He called for more. He said no, and they should
people
pass,
must
he
speak.
said it must pass a law for people with this misinformation. He said that the planes landed and so on last election, and people coming to vote impersonating. You must be jailed for that.
What do you
You
know?
must say you must pass a law.
You know, it's people like that
You say-
who cause riots in
And
places.
they
you know, riots.
they give Skerrit more comfort
Well-
in his nonsense.
Well,
that's
you
all.
see a guy like that is singing for his
Nobody-
breakfast,
I say-
lunch, and dinner.
Sibo,
Yeah.
I was mad last night.
I don't know who
I'm
that
telling
guy
you
is.
so.
I don't even know who is he. Who,
The
who
man is
for
supposed to
somebody
be
to talk
a
that garbage.
PhD in political science, talking that crap in the public like that.
Well, somebody said he's a PS now, so no wonder
Man,
in tourism or
so
something.
these people control the policy and thing in Dominica. God help Dominica. Gosh, that turned my inside. I was boiling.
I can imagine.
Like
Well,
crap.
that I could not
I am
listen.
telling you.
I don't listen to that, so
Okay.
I would not get my pressure will not go up. Let's take that caller.
He's talking
Good
about
night.
the email. Well,
Let's take
Hello.
Ozzy will come. Good night.
gosh, man.
Yes, PhD could mean many things, you know. It could be perfect, damn fool too. And I say, thank God I don't have education, but I have common sense and I can think for myself. That Blessings would have done a better job than that doctor, that so-called doctor.
You're degrading blessings, man, to mention blessings, man. You're degrading blessings. Blessings is one of the most brilliant guys in Dominica. Joking.
Yeah, but I mean, why would they have people like that on the radio
Look, and
going
you
to a
didn't hear him?
I don't listen to him speaking on Ozzy is better.
Well,
I don't. I heard it
good
today.
for your health. Yeah.
When you don't want to your pressure because when you hear a nonsense like that, you
No,
get
listen
so
to me.
annoyed.
I am very mad about that. That was the worst I've ever heard. You know.
Well, that is why I say people talk about consultation. These are town hall meetings. The Labour Party haven't had meeting for a while, so they're having their meetings now. We have another caller. Good night.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I never thought Dominic had too much, what you call, extortionist. Anyone who got rich from extortion and robbery, they're extortionists. And there's more to come. There's more to come. God save Dominic, as I said before. Thank you very much.
Well, other people are saying things about this guy, but we cannot mention it on the radio. Somebody said he's the acting permanent secretary, Ministry of Tourism. So we will not say what they're saying. Yeah, I don't think it's good for broadcast, really. So we'll leave it like that for them. But it seems to be some kind of person, I'm saying, a guy who is singing for all his meals. But we're not going to his
To
personal stuff.
call him a patty hack.
Well, I think it's more than
it's an understatement.
Yeah. He's a kind of person singing for all his meals. And even afternoon too, like in the old days, they're doing rough kick and squash for afternoon. So probably even that he's singing for. We have another caller. Good night.
Well, that's what it-
Good night, Mr. Luis.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sibo and Mr. Luis, what's the criteria you have to meet if you live in outside of Dominica and you want to take part in our election? What is the criteria you have to meet?
Well,
Because I hear Tony Esteban putting an argument outside saying that the people that live in overseas selling barriers, they're selling money. Is that isn't there a criteria that people live in overseas have to meet?
yeah. But you know, as we talk about Tony Astafan, you know,
Yeah.
he lives in Antigua, Ozzy. They're fighting the voter ID cards. Before the election in Antigua, earlier this year, Vivian Richard, who is a national hero, the day before election, he couldn't find his ID card and he was all going crazy. Even Tony's pressure almost went up because although he's a national hero, he couldn't vote without it. He eventually found it. So now where he lives in a place where you have to have your vote and it's a voter's ID card. I'm not sure if they have the biometric, but no, they don't want voter's ID card here in Dominica. They want a national ID card. And they're fighting. What is it so wrong about sanitizing the list?
Why
Taking
can't,
out dead people on the list? Re-registering people. What is so difficult?
why is it so
about
difficult in Dominica to have a level playing field? Why?
I want a couple guy.
Gosh,
They told me a guy went talking nonsense about saying Nicholas George wanted to put $50.
Oh, which is a complete distortion of
rubbish
the truth.
like that. No, but what I'm saying also,
The chairperson should
I was
never allow
I
that.
was not going to ask you. Where is the chairperson?
That foolish fellow, a laughing Casper, laughing fellow
yeah.
saying about pay $50 to be a member.
And lying, well, to me, that lying.
And the
That's a lie.
chairperson stayed there and knowing this guy is talking the untruth, she didn't correct him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Let's
a,
take the next caller.
that's a waste of
Yeah.
time, man.
Good
They just-
night.
When you hear billions of dollars outside there, and you know if you give Dominicans what is due to them on a level playing field, you will spend your life behind bars. Will you allow it to be free? You ever see a rat set a trap for itself? It is the people of Dominica that has to take the control now in their hands. If the government doesn't want to give it to the people have to make up their mind, be what it may or may what it be. We have to take it. It is our own.
Yeah, it seems.
So many dead people getting up off the burial ground and going vote. That is unacceptable. Why are you fighting with the people of Dominica? You don't want to give voter ID card. Is it because you have so much wealth that you cannot give an account for? Is it because dead people are getting up? You are supposed to be the servants of the people. Why are you fighting?
Yeah.
Why?
All right, thank you, Kobe. But
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
look at this thing is a farce.
Well, as I say, these are town hall
Total
meetings. That's how I
farce.
describe them. They haven't had meetings since last election.
Yeah.
They have a chance to come and talk their nonsense, fool people with rubbish, select where they want to go.
Yeah.
And now you have a meeting and we're inside Ross University. That's where they have it, in Portsmouth. So they have
Yeah.
it selected so
Yeah.
anybody can go there. They make sure they
Intimidating places.
policemen like hell.
Police are
and go
wrong.
there and
Place.
so they select their thing.
Yeah.
They bring who they want as chairperson.
And after they bring the observers, and after they'll say, well, they had observers there, they had so and so there, so and so there. And the bloody chairman of the election, see, like a spectator all 3 nights, hasn't said a word.
But also going back, and I'll say,
Not a word.
as far as I'm concerned now, there's no electoral commission. Anybody now that's saying they're a member of the electoral commission is foolishness. There's no electoral commission. In fact, nobody should recommend anybody to be in any electoral
And
commission.
when this girl comes up as leader of the opposition,
Oh!
that's nonsense.
Well,
Why should she be the leader of the
Well, I don't want to hear about. That's another one I don't want to hear about at all. Yeah,
I see
leader
this
of
girl as
opposition.
leader of the opposition, man.
Man, that's another
Joke,
story.
man.
Let's take this caller. Another story. Good night.
Good night, Tibo. Good night, Mr. Ozzy.
Good evening,
Yes.
evening.
Good program.
Mhm.
Tibo, let me tell you, they cannot sanitize the list because they know people, they give people the names on them, they register them on them. So they cannot take out the name. That is why they're afraid.
Boy, this thing is just
Fine.
sick,
Well,
sick, sick.
Right now.
Sickening. It's just sickening, and people have to accept that in Dominica. People have to act like you're begging for something. You should
Yeah,
that
the
be
thing,
automatic.
yeah.
You begging for something that
The
should be
other
automatic.
countries had all that trouble.
No,
getting
you
it
never
from
had that.
Antigua,
Nowhere.
Jamaica, St.
Nowhere.
Vincent, Barbados. They ever had that problem?
Nowhere, only in Dominica.
They ever paid
Because
a person $650,000 overseas to
to
cut a
send his
one-man
grandchildren to
one-man
school and
commissioner?
grade, give him money, he retired, send his great grandchildren, take the state's money, and to put it on a show. So you give the impression
Gentlemen,
that you did
Sebastian,
something. Yes, Lobby.
didn't we have assistance from the OAS, from CARICOM, from the EU?
But they provide reports already.
Many reports.
And they were set aside by the government, so they don't want that. Just
Did
last
they pay-
time.
Didn't
From
we
the
pray
same-
monthly
same
when while it was
bodies,
the
all of
opposition?
them give reports already. My God, this tomfoolery keeps
Yeah.
going on and on and on. When will it end? And you're coming back to zero.
Yeah.
The whole thing is you are still coming back to zero.
and
Take
what will happen?
Take it from me.
But as I had said, so they will pass their law, which will be worse than how it is now.
Worse.
It will be law. When they will pass their
And
law,
they'll be more entrenched.
well, it will be like a dictatorship.
Yeah.
In fact, if you keep hearing this guy, I provided that. I did this. That's
But
what
you
you're
can
hearing. I did
the
this.
way
I
they
did.
rebut and even
Yeah.
rebuffing
Yeah.
people, you can clearly see where they're coming
Yeah.
from. They keep pushing back all the time. On the card, the voter ID card, jeez, you.
And as I all the lines going. Good night.
Yes, good night again, Kibo.
Yeah, good night.
Kibo, I don't know if you heard it tonight, the newscast on this same radio station, that Roosevelt is asking people to forget the way he win before, unless now everybody think about. I don't know if you hear that.
No, but I not
But
listen to
it's
those
how
things.
he win that got us to how to here we are today. It's what he did that got us to here we are today. Why he want us to forget it? He telling us to forget all the way he win. Stop talking about those things and let's think about the consultation, and here we can go from there. Madness.
Well,
The-
you're
the
calling
guy
consultation.
the guy-
I'm saying it's a town hall meeting they're having. That's what I'm saying.
Tony, what is it? Laron again? not Tony Laron. Tony,
Tony, what's his name now?
He tried
Ace
his-
Engineering.
he tried his best,
Yeah,
yes.
Tony
but,
Leblanc.
yeah, but he was being rebutted by the
Every time.
prime minister every time. and
Uh-huh.
he had a,
But why? That's
Oh,
another
my
thing. If you
goodness,
have
man.
why the prime
Tony
minister?
couldn't speak.
She couldn't speak at all.
He
this stuff.
chopped everybody.
Every
man.
blocking him. Well, as I say, don't listen to that because I don't find it's a joke. And as I will say again, to say you have electoral commission, there's nobody now in Dominica should be saying there's not any member of the electoral commission. There is none. They are bypassed. They have no power. So nobody now should be
So
in
what,
any electoral
what is the
commission.
role of those so-called observers again?
Good. Well, we
What
don't
they're
know.
they're on a flipping holiday.
To enjoy themselves in the
Of
hotel
course.
for 2 weeks, having fun, per diem, and
A
enjoying fun.
holiday.
That's for 2
Where they
weeks.
are, Kempinski?
Right, maybe that's where they are. Who knows? Let's take this call again. Who
Well,
knows? Good night.
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Very good.
Well, we just want to know what the people from CARICOM,
What they're doing.
OAS and SCS and whatever else it is. We just hope that when they, after everything, they will give people their take on what they saw that was good and what they saw that was bad. For a man that say people love him so much, I don't know why he's afraid of doing the right thing.
Afraid of
Giving
election.
people
boy.
voters ID cards. See, boy, you know your boy used to sell. Listen up. You know your boy used to sell his.
By CB there.
Used to know boy used to live in Kennedy Avenue there. You know there.
Kennedy Upper Lane.
Oh, boy.
No,
Oh,
Kennedy Avenue.
Yes.
Right above the bamboo. Some Haitian. That's
the ocean, the guy with bar. Okay, I know.
Yes.
Smith, yeah.
right, the empty lot that was there. See, boy.
Mhm.
See, boy, you know how many people registered on that empty lot there, that fence there?
You serious?
Yes, so you want a voters list to clean? No, you want a voters list to clean. You know many dilapidated houses in Roseville, in all Kuwais in Roseville. When we went there, and when we asked for certain people, they said that person not living there. That person doesn't live there. We don't know that person at all. Do you want the voters list to clean? When all these people are on the list registered? No, you wouldn't want the voters list to clean. No, and we cannot start all over because the people that registered to vote in them places, they don't live there. They just came in there, they got the opportunity, and greedy and wicked people allow that to happen. They put that house there, so and so doesn't live there again. They're not there. Let's put their name there. And that is exactly what went on in Roseau. I am telling you, from this below Roseau, from River Street, all the way up to Newtown, Harlem area. That is what that went on there. Putting people, just plugging them in. You come from Desbois, you come from Tukari, we need your vote in Roseau, and we will plug you there. And that is what that went on. And they know that. Have a blessed night, gentlemen.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good.
Well, obviously, we haven't got much time.
Yeah,
we have to call the
yeah,
football
yeah,
guy to
yeah.
get what's happening because
Yeah, indeed, yes.
yeah, we have to get him because we only have 1 hour tonight. We don't have to let listeners know. We have to get out of here at 7.
At 7 we have to
because
leave.
they have to be
Yes.
carrying the Labour Party town hall meetings.
The fast continues.
The Labour Party town hall meeting, that's how I describe it. That's definitely
Well,
not a concern.
I will say
Yeah.
the charade continues.
Yeah,
I
well,
say
yeah,
that.
it's a fast, as you say. These are town hall meetings with the Labour Party. They haven't had meetings since the last election. They have gotten a chance now all about having meetings.
The
yeah.
mockery continues.
Yeah, it's a
The
mockery,
mockery
and
continues.
it's a nonsense and selecting areas where you're going to have meetings in Salibia. Still, lots of people are fools. People that don't live in Dominica, they know what's going on. I mean, and then you talk about transparency.
Just to have a level playing field.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want to be able to say,
You want to
boast
protect.
how I win in election. How I win in election.
You don't want to lose ever.
Yeah.
Stay in there forever.
Yeah. Taking a break?
Let's
Let's take a small break here.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets, PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Eddie?
Hello, welcome back to Sports Wrap. It's now 6:39. Do we have Eggy on the line?
Abby
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Abby, good night. You on? Well, people
Good
want
night,
to.
Mr. Sebastian. Good night, Mr. Lewis.
People want to
night,
know what
Eddie.
happened
Eddie.
last week, and we hear about, well, the close to this weekend we might have a champion. So tell us about it.
Oh, yes, they're going to champion this
Well,
weekend.
This weekend is dubbed decision-making weekend. That's by me, not by the DFA, but I carry the hat for the DFA. So this weekend we will see rather an interesting encounter because some teams will be contesting to prevent themselves from being relegated, while the other will be looking to keep Dubla gasping for breath. So for the Premier League, on Friday, we have Promex Harlem coming up against Valvoline United at the Stockton Training Center. That's on Friday at 6:30. And the Surgical Southeast will come up against Tranquility Beach Middleham United at the Stockton Facility Training Center on Saturday. However, there is an interesting encounter between Bombers of Portsmouth and LA Stars at the Stockton facility as well on Saturday. But the interesting game is between Blue Waters, Bath Estate, and Central Cooperative Credit Union Limited, Dubla. Anything happens on Saturday, Dubla will emerge champions. So it is left to see how Tranquility Beach and or Southeast plays the game. But
When is the Southeast game? When is the Southeast game?
Southeast game is on Saturday at 4.
Where?
Stockton.
Okay.
Now, if Southeast wins...
What about if Jubilant? If
Hold on,
Jubilant
Lobby.
draw, what happened?
Go ahead, Lobby. Ask him the
If
question.
Jubilant draw, if Jubilant end up drawing, will they still be champion?
Well, that is interesting. Dubla has three games in hand. Mathematically, Dubla is 38 points and Southeast is 33. Mathematically, Southeast needs 2 more games, 39, to make it, and Southeast, the last encounter will be with Dubla. However, Dubla last encounter may not be Southeast because they have 6-7 connects to play and another team. So again, it makes it quite comfortable for the Dubla team. A draw or a win will cause them to be victorious.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting indeed.
very interesting.
So
very.
Dubla's a very good chance.
Well, Jubla. So what you're saying, Jubla actually needs 1 point in 3 games, right?
Just a point.
For 3 games, and Southeast need to win their 2 games outright and outright.
Very much. Outright.
Oh.
So hence the weekend is very interesting, and it's not just for the championship because we have Bombers from Portsmouth and LA Stars looking at the table of relegation. So they are playing as well. So one needs to prove to the other that hey, football dominance in the Premier League we will overcome. Just like we United had an interesting encounter with Promex Harlem. So any of the 3 Bombers, Valvoline, we United, and LA Stars, they are looking at relegation. So at the end of the day, everything that's like this weekend is the decisive weekend.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Louis.
I am hearing that at Stock Farm, you all call it a training facility.
Training center.
Why is there? Can the name be changed? The name of some great footballer?
Yeah, I cannot answer you at the moment. Interesting question, but you will have to refer that to the president and other members of the executive.
No, but how do you feel about it? Changing the name?
Well, Lobby, I'm a novice in this thing, but I believe in giving credit where credit is due, and if it is worth renaming after a great Dominican sportsman and a woman, so be it. Because we have to show and always keep the legacy going so that the young persons know who is who.
Yeah.
But we have, that shouldn't be a problem.
No.
That shouldn't be a problem.
It will be a collective decision. Eggy will tell his own personal choice,
Yeah.
you know. Eggy has
But
personal choice,
do you
but he
think
won't
it's
divulge that.
Do you think it's a good idea?
He has his own personal choice, but he don't divulge it, but he'll go collectively with what,
Yes,
you know.
very much so. But Lobby, if you want it to be named after you, put in a
No, not after me, brother. You have Hippolyte, one of the Jomo is right there, who is alive. Hippolyte is right there. One of the best footballer we have ever had in Dominica.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for Emmanuel Black.
No. Well, I'm happy that there are others listening, and you are not the only person that came up with the sentiment. Like Mr. Lewis and Mr. Sebastian said, it's a collective approach. I believe as well, proper consultation should be given to the club to really do, because you might say, okay, this is your person. I might tell you on my end, we have Ron Green, who is a pioneer and champion in the football in the Southeast for almost 3 decades and more. So it's really something we should consider. But that's my own bias.
It has to be a collective decision, Eggy.
Yeah.
Eggy? Yeah.
Me alone cannot make that. But other exciting news in the DFA, also our girls, our under 14 girls, are in Antigua to participate in a CONCACAF game, and they are in Group A. So Dominica's first game is against Anguilla tomorrow at 2 p.m. We are in Group A with teams such as Anguilla, St. Vincent, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Grenada. So Dominica will be competing against them on the 14th in Antigua.
I have a question.
Go ahead now.
Yeah, the other question, the football, the FA house itself, you have the Bathurst playing field. I find it myself, as a football house, you have the Olympic Committee right there. I think the field is an awful sight to have these two prestigious buildings, next to each other. I think something should be done to maintain the field. What do you think of that?
Well, this one, it may appear to be my own bias, but I'm saying, and which you are rightly saying, that look at the football house, Patrick John's house, you have a park, Olympic Committee, a park there. Football has been contributing and is contributing a lot to the country. I ask myself, and I will get blows for it, but nonetheless, what is the sports division and government's policy when it comes to maintaining community playing fields? What are their policies? We read very plain, because if the Football Association takes up the field, is it all? Just like we can say, stop from it our turf, we have rights to stop from 24 hours, but do we have rights to the government facilities 24/7 and we can call it our own? Take, for example, I may get blows, like I say, some great injection of funds will be placed at the Windsor Park Stadium by the FA. Are we enjoying the luxury of having a stadium game?
But don't you think that was an error to do that? Don't you think that's an error for the Football Association to be taking the fund to develop the Windsor Park when they have so many grounds where around the country they could have spent that money on?
It's not an error, because we ought to really augment what we have. If for example, they believe at the time that was the best move to do, I believe in doing it, but when it comes to making use of the facility, we should be considered as well. It should not be a place for
CO and free up. It should be a place where we can nurture talent. Huh?
Yeah. Eggy, do you have the boys too, under 15 boys doing something for us as well overseas?
Well, they place number 4 in their league, in their zone.
4 in the
And
zone.
We give credit to them.
Yeah, the under 15
However,
boys, yes.
Much more is desirable.
Yeah, yeah.
Next week, when we speak the Lord salaries, we will have a list of the under 17 girls that will be traveling to the Dominican Republic, as well as the senior national women's team that are preparing themselves for the leg of the competition together with the men. So you see, it's a packed.
Yeah, your hands are very full, Eggy. Very full,
Yes,
very full.
very packed program happening. And Sunday, during the course of the weekend, it's just the time now to decide. And those that are viewing, those that are listening, to say, are we taking football to the new level that it should be, or are we just beating stones one on the other? But I believe in the new season that a lot will be happening in the Dominica Football Association. You'll be rest assured that you will see the much needed changes.
That's a solemn pledge from Abby Lawrence. Okay, right. That's
Abby, well, thank you.
Abby, thank you very much, man.
We'll speak to you next week again. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. Lewis. You're welcome.
Very well done.
Good night, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well done, Abby. Very well done.
So this
Yes,
weekend,
the
we should
women-
pick up
the
the Women's World Cup. Well, the final is on Sunday between England and Spain.
Final of the Women's World Cup.
Sunday morning,
And
England
when
and
and
Spain.
Saturday, the third place,
Australia and Sweden are playing the
So
third place.
Australia and England playing in the semi-final,
Right.
and England beat them 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
You- In fact, the Spain game was
Spain.
that was a thriller. I mean, the girl that second goal of Spain from about 40 yards, a left footer, man, that was something else.
So
what
Sunday,
about the one
time?
of Australia, Sibo?
It could be. I have to
Just
check it.
think
Either
about-
3 o'clock or 6 o'clock
Okay.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
3 a.m. or 6 a.m.
All right. So
6
it'll be
a.m.
Spain
6 a.m. The
6
final,
a.m.,
6 a.m.
6
Yeah.
6 a.m. on
6
Sunday.
a.m. Yeah, usually in 154 Fox Sports. If you have
Fox
Flow,
154.
154.
Okay,
About 6 o'clock
6 in the morning.
Yeah, the Women's World Cup final
That's the
between
time.
England.
6 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I for my gospel music, you know.
Well,
That's
Ossie,
time for my gospel
what
music.
you can do, put your gospel music and just watch the picture of the football. So you don't have to hear the audio on the football. So take your gospel
On a
music.
Sunday morning, you know. DJ
By the way,
Sharman.
the St. Lucia won the toss. They're batting against Barbados. The match starts in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The CPL in St. Lucia. So it's St.
Right.
Lucia
Yes.
playing Barbados
So, St. Lucia lost their first match
last night. So they're playing Barbados. They have won the toss and they're batting. Alec Afanaz is in Barbados team, but you know he's injured.
He's not
eh?
well, I understand.
No,
but
he has a broken hand.
broken hand.
The left hand.
Yeah.
The
What?
thumb. Huh?
From what?
He got injured when he played the last ODI, he got hit. So when I saw him, he was in Dominica, he was there for a whole week. I mean, when I saw him up to last Friday, he went back on Friday. So they're supposed to take out the cast this week and see when he will be able to
Therapy
play.
after.
The match is about
Therapy.
7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. It's St. Lucia Kings. St. Lucia have won the toss and they're batting against Barbados.
What channel brings it?
On Sportsmax. Sportsmax carrying.
Sports Max.
Yeah, carrying. 7 o'clock tonight.
By the way, West Indies are going back to Australia
In January.
But they did last year.
Yeah, but they're going to play 2 test matches in Australia.
But they played 2 tests just last year,
Yeah.
December.
But you know,
That's never happened
Ozzy,
before. Why so soon?
well, maybe Australia can get because they're sharing the summer with Pakistan.
Yes,
So Pakistan will play 3, West Indies will play 2.
yes.
But you know, the ICC need to step in your head is South Africa due to go to New Zealand to play 2 test matches in January, February. The South Africa, their T20 goes from January. South Africa Cricket Board are saying that the players must play in the T20. They asked the New Zealand board to reschedule the series. New Zealand said no. And they're saying now, none of the test players, all of them have to play the T20. So they might send a third-rate team to New Zealand. Can you imagine that?
Playing test
To
cricket.
play 2 test matches in New
No,
Zealand.
man.
And yet, yesterday, and Graham Smith is the guy in charge of the T20, the director of the T20. And he's saying, well, all the players know that the contract was signed. So they have to play in the T20. Can you imagine that?
Imagine that. They
To
have to
play
be
the-
above test
Yes,
cricket.
so New Zealand said, no, we are not
Yes.
shifting the series.
Yes,
The
yes.
dates were agreed on long time.
So they're
so
saying a third-rate team
they will have, yeah,
against
because-
mighty New Zealand in New Zealand
Yeah.
instead.
So Non, Bavuma, all these guys,
That's
all of
dilute.
them are staying in South Africa T20.
That's diluting.
That is
the
what
point.
diluting their team, man.
And you know, this
That's
T20,
diluting test
right
cricket.
now I'm getting fed up of it. A lot of them I don't watch it now. Yeah. Too much
But
of
I
it now.
hardly watch T20s.
Too much of that. I mean, sometimes you're there, you want to, but too much of it now. I just get fed up all over the place. Look,
But
Sri
I
Lanka has
hardly
one
watch
going
it.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Sri Lanka has one going on.
Too many.
All over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's really ridiculous.
Too many
now.
T20s.
By the way, Lobby,
Yep.
the World Championships are this week in Hungary. It
I
starts
know,
on
I know, I
Saturday.
know, I know, 90, I know.
It starts on Saturday also the
I'm
World
coming down,
Championship
yeah.
Athletics
Athletics.
in Hungary. So we should see all the big names, Shelley and Fraser, all these people.
Who's from Dominica?
Lobby, is there anybody from Dominica taking
To
part?
the World
We just
Championship.
have laugh
Yeah.
laugh fight.
La
for
Polo?
sure.
Lafont, representing
Lafont.
Dominica.
Yeah. She's the only person
Yes.
that's qualified.
What you have to understand, Ozzy,
Yes.
what you have to understand is this. What the people have to understand. Sometimes, yes, we're talking about numbers. All right? You have to qualify. The standard presently in athletics is very, very challenging right now. All right? So there are some countries with maybe all like 10 million people. They only have 4 athletes who have qualified. So it's very tough. They're making it much more challenging right now. It's not easy right now. So for Lafont rank probably top 6 in the world, top 6 or top 5 in the world in the triple jump.
Okay,
All right.
that's
So
good. That's good.
as long as she can get her run up right, she can be a contender. She could be in the top 3.
So we
Before-
have no sprinters in that? Any sprinters
No,
from Dominica?
that is sprinter. It was sprinter qualifying. I
You
know
have to meet a
St.
match, you know.
Lucia have a good contender in the women 100
And,
meters, Julian Alfred.
But because of her, that Puma now sponsoring the St. Lucia team. Puma, because of her.
Right,
Guys, before we forget,
right.
we haven't paid tribute to Sanderson yet, you know.
Oh, Bram, the guy died.
Fellow died.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't he a top
Oh, yes,
athlete?
Bram
Yeah,
Sanderson.
yeah.
In Dominica overseas.
Cyclist, you know.
Yeah.
Has he been a medalist? Has he ever won medals?
I'm not sure, but he was one of our best cyclists.
An all-around athlete.
Yes.
And he came to
A young man, eh?
untimely death, age 30, I understand.
Young guy.
Brilliant young guy, died in Antigua. We should at least mention it, you know.
Yeah, well, you
Well, I
saying
mentioned
now.
it. I want to pay tribute to him because, I mean, the guy
I
died
know
in a
him.
very
Oh.
fortunate circumstance. Well, he was on a bike or what?
Back, yeah, the
Bike.
bike got hit. And
Yeah, bike, you
a
know,
lot of
bike.
people are dying hit
They were
when hit.
Did
He
you
don't bike.
know him, Bram Sanderson?
Not really. I didn't know really. I saw a picture of him.
Lobby, did you know him, Bram Sanderson?
Very well, Ozzy. We were at the Commonwealth Games in Australia. The
Commonwealth
last time,
Games.
the first
yeah.
cyclist ever to represent Dominica.
Right, he did well.
Just
yes.
even, you know.
Yeah.
So I was a bit.
So,
There were
yeah,
two
we
of
lost a
them, you know,
top
on the.
sportsman.
Huh?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, he was one of our top cyclists. Eventually,
Wow.
at the time when he started, eventually, this guy from the south came in,
Wow.
this young boy, and you know,
Wow.
Kwa
Kwa
came
Baron.
in there, you
Kwa
know,
Baron.
made it very, very, very competitive.
Yes, yes.
But
So
I
our
thought
condolences, family.
I was
and-
shocked when I heard that he died in Antigua. There were two.
Yeah.
There were 2 occupants. The other guy is in intensive care in Antigua also.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people getting hit and getting killed. People on bike
On his-
getting killed by
his
other
bike
people.
thing, anyhow.
Yeah, bike and vehicle hitting them and killing them.
Really
Yeah.
said Sanderson was 30 years old.
31 or
Yes,
something
yes,
like
31. Yeah, very young
Yeah.
guy.
And I mean, the guy was a Commonwealth Games participant, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Ronald Charles, I spoke to him earlier this week. It's a blow for them. He felt it. I mean,
Yeah. He was a top cyclist as
Yeah.
well until the co-op
Of
ban
course, Ozzy.
came. Yes, so Dominica's lost a premier sportsman.
Of course.
So our
Ozzy.
condolences to the family. I don't know.
Well, I guess he went
I
to
don't-
Antigua, greener pastures, I
I guess
suppose,
so, yes.
to see if he could better his
Because
life.
at
And,
30, he still had a lot of youth in him.
well, the man had just started to leave us. He
Well,
just started
and
to
he
leave.
died on the spot, you know, I
Yeah,
understand.
just started to
All
leave.
the way to the hospital. I
And
mean,
it's finished.
he had no chance, you know.
Serious head injuries.
Yes.
It's finished, man. It's really
So,
sad.
The family had need to be comforted in this moment, Lobby. He's from
Yeah,
where in
yes.
Dominica? He's from where in Dominica?
He's from the it's either Wesley or one of them.
Wesley or Marigot.
Or Marigot, yes.
So, well, our condolences from Sports Rap to the family of Bram Sanderson. Cut
Sad,
down,
very sad.
so young,
Young guy like that.
skilled guy. It is unfortunate, and we commiserate with the family and friends and all of Dominica. Feel that because 30 years old, my
Yeah, he just had to
managing-
leave.
Well, in the flash of youth, as you said, Simon,
Yeah,
your
just had to
turn.
leave with him and just had to leave and it's finished, it's dead.
Yeah,
Bike again. Well, we've been told we only have a couple more
we
minutes.
have only 2 minutes left.
Yeah, because they have to cover this Labour Party town hall meeting, which starts soon. Yeah, but you call it a farce, Ozzy. I call it a town hall meeting.
I call it a charade as well.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and nonsense every night like that. You're bombarding people with this thing. You have
But-
people who are supposed to be doctors talking garbage on the radio.
Gentlemen, the saddest thing about it, Ozzy, as I said, we have had numerous reports already, on that.
Numerous reports, yes, from the same organizations over and over. OAS, the Commonwealth Secretariat, all of them, every time they send the reports, you can't remember that's the 2019 election.
I think monthly receive 60,000 close. Monthly receive a hand, she was handsomely paid.
Listen, this thing, Lobby.
Plus, we had all the local Dominicans who spend about 8 months to a year. The civic bodies here in Dominica.
Fighting that.
Pastor Rodney and our friend Tony. What's his name? Tony what?
Well, Severin Mackenzie.
Severin Mackenzie. This guy is
Tony LeBlanc.
Tony LeBlanc. This guy spent a year and put up goods. So this guy still have come to naught. This thing is going on like a timeless machine,
Ozzy, as I said a few nights ago,
it's breaking all records.
This thing has been done to show the outside world. I have been doing something. So when elected people can't say, that's just a nonsense.
Yeah.
The guy doing that, they have their show, they have their
show,
Labour Party town hall meetings, bring their people, they have their people to say, and then they'll do their
when they give you they say that we went all about, we had 2 weeks consultation, we went there, it's a collective
Well,
thing.
people in Dominica have to realize they have to do something for themselves. It cannot be sitting down. And like I say, if you are an opening batsman and a fast bowler bowling bounces,
expect anything different.
No, I always said that was
I never, not for one fleeting moment.
Got Byron to do what they want.
Byron,
all that, so
and Byron's letter transmitted on the report. Yeah. He said why he had to do certain things, He mentioned in his
can
letter.
you imagine the same guy you're talking about said he called Byron? The same Jean-Jacques said he called Byron, because he wasn't satisfied. He said that if you listen to him,
I probably didn't get that.
He called Byron.
Okay.
So anybody could have called Byron and tell him do this, do that.
Yeah.
So he said he called Byron.
Okay.
So you can imagine what has been happening with this Byron man. So many people have his number, they could have called him
Byron
and get him to do what they wanted. Well, we have to stop Lobby, because
all the best.
You all will listen, but I know I would listen. I'm going to watch some CPL cricket.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So guys, until next Thursday, we have to stop now because we have this, as Tibo calls it, the town hall meeting to bring for you.
Okay.
So also this on behalf of Locker Sebastian and our friend Lobby overseas, DJ Shan is the one on the console. Also saying good night until next week Thursday for another edition of Sports Rap. Good evening. Yes.
Sports Wrap, your dynamic, riveting weekly sports show on Q95. The entire Caribbean is listening to Sports Wrap on the big station every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. with renowned veteran sports commentator and retired magistrate Ozzy Lewis.